Bird. Bird is the word. Bird. Bird is the word. Bird is the word.
Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the podcast. Yeah, we're casting on your pod. We're podding on your cast. Podcast. With Liam, Jack, Carter, and maybe Totus in the future. But not in this episode.
Okay, is it recording?
Yeah, it's recording.
All right, let's take a minute to talk about the real controversy in America, which is that the birds literally aren't real.
They're literally not.
They're just. You ever like a flock of birds flies over you, and you're just sitting there thinking, man, it would be super awful if one of those birds pooped on me.
And
always without fail, poops on you or your car. You ever wonder why that happens?
Why would that happen?
It's not just because birds have a they just hate humans. It's because they're actually government drones.
Yeah.
So and the bird poop is tracking liquid tracking apparatus, and a lot the most common thing that gets brought up against me when I talk about this is that they're like, what do you mean it's a drone? Like, we would see metal parts if they crashed. That's a flawed understanding of what a drone is, really. Because when you think about a drone, like we think about like with helicopters and stuff like that, really a drone is just anything that can be controlled to survey,
Including meat.
produced
in a lab.
including synthetic meat produced in in this case, the government drone is just a meat slave being controlled by the government, and they do have tracking. They do have. Brooklyn's laughing at me, and it's really not funny.
This is the problem we have in America.
Yeah.
People aren't taking this
Enslaving. You think it's funny that the American government is enslaving wildlife?
and enslaving meat on top of that.
We're talking about birds.
Yeah, birds are wildlife, Brooklyn. Last I checked. Actually, last I checked, they weren't, because they're not real.
Yeah.
I would also like
How
to
can
talk
that
about
be?
the
How can they be?
Wait, wait, do you want me to cover the origin, or do you want to cover the origin? Okay. Carter's going to tell us about the origin of birds.
Going to tell us about
Yeah, I'm currently the expert on the history of birds because a lot of people don't actually understand all of it. And this all happened back with Watergate and Nixon. So basically, way back then, everybody was like, the birds are disappearing. So the government had to come up with a way to cover it up. So what they basically did is they created Watergate and they framed Nixon so that he would be in trouble. And then all the American people would be looking at Nixon. And during that time, they decided to swap out all the birds. And there were a few people that realized it. And they're the kind of people that you laugh at.
Smartest people among us.
Yep, the smartest people among us.
It's always the dumbest people who are the
You can
smartest.
Can I speak on how they switched the birds?
Yeah, so I'm going to defer to Liam, and he's going to start talking about how they swapped them all out.
Okay, so this is a common thing. Like, what do you mean? There's like 12 billion birds in America. How could they switch them all out at the same time? Here it is. You ready for this? Bird flu. It's an advanced form of leprosy that causes the birds to basically disintegrate altogether, evaporating into dust.
Kind of like COVID-19 did with humans.
Kind of, basically the same thing.
Before China covered
It's
it up.
like like in Infinity War when Peter Parker's like, I don't feel so good, and he just flakes away.
Thanos is the bird flu.
No, Jack. That is exactly what happened to the birds. They just released a chemical that just killed all the birds, and so they were able to easily replace them, a lot of them, with drones. Don't birds live suspiciously long? Pet birds.
They do.
Think about how long a dog lives. That thing is way more advanced than a bird.
My grandma has a bird that's like 300 years old. And that's from before they even made the drones. I don't even know.
Also, I'd like to clarify, before Jack tells us what we're supposed to do when we see a bird, that the birds aren't real movement. Another popular question is, are the penguins fake? Do penguins live in America?
No.
That would be my answer. No, they don't. So penguins are real unless you see them in a zoo. Then they're obviously drones. Thank you.
Yeah. So, if you see a bird, there's a few things you can do. If you've encountered a bird, whether in the wild or captivity, So your first step, you just gotta stay calm, okay? It's gonna be okay. I believe in you. We here at this podcast, we believe in you. Okay, you can handle this encounter effectively. Just don't give in to fear, because that's what the commies want. Okay. So there's a few things you can do. You're gonna look into its beady little eyes. Okay. You are the dominant force in this situation. Okay. So
You are a living, real thing. That bird is fake.
it's fake. Okay. So you have to repeat after me. Okay. I know your secret. I know you are a surveillance drone in disguise. I know that behind those beady eyes are cameras, soaking up data and sending it to the Pentagon. I am on to you. I know you are not real. In saying this, you establish dominance, and it might even disintegrate, like Peter Parker did.
Self-destruct. It will self-destruct.
It will self-destruct on the spot. And if it doesn't, it's because you did it wrong and you're a coward, okay? So there's
You have to really scream it.
Yeah,
you have to really yell it out.
if your voice is not gone the next day, you did not do it right. In fact,
Wait, we're entering. Wait, hang on.
Hey, are you
We're not.
We're entering Tennessee.
What? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Tennessee.
You're not the
yeah.
only 10 I see.
Jack, you're the. Okay, so we're in Tennessee now.
We're in Tennessee.
You're the only 10 I see.
I'm blushing.
Okay. Anyway, back to the birds. Another commonly asked question is, do different birds mean different things? Are they all surveillance? This is straight from the Birds Aren't Real website, so this is real. This is real, unlike the birds.
Unlike the birds.
While most birds, this is straight answer, quote, while most birds are designed specifically for public surveillance, this does not mean that is all government is doing with them. Bird drones can have multiple applications based on type. For example, quote, vultures, unquote, are not surveillance drones, they're for public sanitation.
Can I just take a moment to go on a tangent? Yeah. Okay, everybody's sitting at home just thinking, oh, vultures are real and birds are real. But vultures? Vultures! Are you kidding me? Vultures? Have you seen a vulture?
Have you literally ever seen a vulture? Think of every Disney movie you've ever seen with a vulture in it. They don't look like that. I just want to say they literally don't
With
look
their
like
bumpy little bald heads, they remind you of your great uncle. I mean, they're disgusting, and they're not real. It just gets under my skin.
I also want to, while we're on the topic of vultures, I want to go ahead and say that Bob Dylan nowadays he be singing like a Disney vulture. I'm not gonna lie. That's what he sounds like.
While we're on the topic,
He'd be like,
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, one running is to ride, in a one-horse open sleigh.
that's what he sounds like. Sorry, we're getting word from our producer that we need to kind of cut it. So
we're going on a tangent about vultures, okay? Vultures, a song, Continuum, by John Mayer. Amazing song, okay?
It's awful and he can die.
That's coming from somebody who thinks birds are real, okay? You can just discount it altogether.
I only say it because
if she thinks birds are real, you can't trust her. First date, first question: do you think birds are real? If she says yes, don't go on.
I've been on many dates and they all think that birds are real. And my mom says it's not because I'm pathetic. She said it's because I know the truth, okay? Because the smart ones in history are always the ones who lose, which is why girls hate me.
I have dated over 50 women. Every single one of them said that birds were real, and every single one of them cheated on me.
You should hear about my third date. She cheated on me with a bird. Like, I'm not even kidding.
That's how you know birds are government drones.
Yeah.
Wooing women? Really? Do you think a bird could do that?
And let's not even get into how most women are government drones. You know what I'm saying?
Hang on. Let's steer away from that. I don't know where we're going with that. I'm going to say we think that birds are government drones. Have you ever thought about how maybe your golden doodle is probably a government drone?
Maybe you're a government drone. Are you real?
I mean, just think about golden doodles right now. They have eyes pretty similar to humans. They conveniently don't shed, and they conveniently are pretty funny and silly. You can't tell me that that's not being controlled by a human. Anyway, birds aren't real. God bless America.